We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. Hello! Welcome to another edition of Author Ejamie Watches, a somewhat weekly show where I react to television shows and or movies and hopefully entertain y'all. For this week, we're watching a movie. We're watching a movie that I watched roughly 40 years ago. So I don't remember much about it. But I remember it was one of those movies that sort of just always stuck with me. We're watching 1984's The Burning Bed, starring Farrah Fawcett. Now, if you do not know what The Burning Bed is about, it is about a woman who is so severely abused by her husband, and she suffers this for years with no help from law enforcement, that she, in my opinion, rightfully takes matters into her own hands and sets the mother effer on fire, killing him. We can get into the whole vigilante taking the law into your own hands, blah blah blah. We'll get into it at the end. We'll probably get into it during the movie. So I remember that. I remember that she does that. But I don't remember a lot of story-wise. So I thought it would be an interesting sort of idea to kind of revisit this movie that had a very, big impact on my childhood. Yes, I watched this as a child. Because sadly, I was a child who grew up in a similar circumstance, a home that was similar to what was going on in this film. Thankfully, by 1984, I was 7? Yeah, so by 1984, we had already gotten out of that situation. And this movie came out, and my mother was always sort of the type who liked, and still does, likes those sort of movies where women they suffer, but then there's the get back. My mother has always been a huge fan of those types of movies. So those were really the types of movies that we watched growing up. Yeah, she liked sort of like those depressing, kind of sad movies. And yeah, the movies where like the woman gets her get back. Yeah, this was one of the movies that was like sort of had a very big impact on me. But I don't remember a lot of the story apart from her setting her husband on fire. And sort of the reason why. I don't remember a lot of the story. So yeah, this will be a somewhat refresher watch. I won't say first time watch because obviously I've seen it before, but sort of a refresher watch. So there might be things sort of like along the way where I'm like, I remember that, or oh, that's right, that happened, and blah blah blah. But it's just, so this is sort of a refresher watch for me. And yeah, so the full unedited version for this will be up on my Patreon, or you will get, so thank you for everybody who supported me there, or you can just stick to YouTube and you'll get the heavily edited down version. But thank you to all the new subscribers on YouTube. It's been awesome to see the channel slowly growing. We're still a very small channel, but you know, little by little, we're getting there. This is something that I sort of do for, you know, fun. It'd be great to, you know, eventually be supported by it, but that's not, I'm a writer, like I'm not a YouTuber. So my primary source of income is the evil day job, because ain't nobody being able to live off their writing right now, unless you're like Nora Roberts. But I'm convinced that woman never sleeps. So the YouTube thing is sort of just for kind of fun for me. And yeah, so it's not like I need to have like 10,000 subscribers now. Like, we'll get there when we get there. It's fine. If we get there. So yeah, doing the whole whole thing and the commenting would be great. Share this video with other people who remember this movie, because it has sort of always been the archetype, or sort of the gold standard of like domestic violence movies. And when there's like comments made about it in like other shows or whatever, they always reference about like, oh, you know, I will set you on fire, like that woman in the burning bed. So it's always sort of been sort of in the back of like popular culture. So it'd be really interesting to see how many people remember this movie. And I hope you will enjoy kind of revisiting it with me. So, let's get into it. As excited! I'm so excited to get into this sad, depressing film. This is 1984, The Burning Bed, Farrah Fawcett. Based on a book. Ah, the year I was born. Oh, we're starting with it. Okay. All right. Yes, he is. You're trash piece of son. What did I just say? Your trash piece of shit son is getting crucified.
Mrs. Hughes, my name is Orion Graydonis. The court has appointed me to be your attorney. That's the guy who's been prosecuting this case.
I know him. He's in a lot of 80s movies.
Mr. Hughes, I've been told that you committed murder. Is that correct?
Big ol' murder.
I've been told that you confessed to committing murder. Is that correct? If the information I've been given is accurate, this will be an extremely difficult case to defend. It will be impossible if you won't help me. Please answer me, Mrs. Hughes. Yes. Yes, what? Yes, you did kill me.
A little bit.
Mrs. Hughes.
Last night I dreamed that
Came into the gym and keys were dangling.
came into my cell and sat down and said, sorry. Look,
And there he is. What a piece of shit.
who's that guy over there? Who? The one smoking.
oh, that's Mr. Hughes. He's older. One of his boys. Very bad.
What'd you hear?
Why aren't you dancing?
You found anybody who wanna dance with?
Not afraid of anything.
Oh, girl. Well, I'm afraid for you. So it begins. Run, Tracy, run.
I want to
I want to do it right.
Not in the
Not
front
the
seat
front
of
seat
the
of the
car.
car. I want to wait until I get married.
Right. Okay. So let's get married.
Look,
Right away.
Right away.
Married. I can't believe you. Dinner's ready.
Why don't
Why don't you two come on in and sit down?
she's all warm and welcome, isn't she?
There's your folks, the mountain 52. I guess you got some matches. I hope so.
I was no older than you and Berlin
Girl,
when I got
I got
married.
married.
Look at the dad's faces. Don't do it.
Cut the rest down.
Well, I never said that to anybody.
In any other context.
I wanted to wait. He wouldn't over and over and answer. I don't like to think.
I mean,
Nobody ever
loved me like that.
real powerful. Such a lucky guy.
Hey, guy. Marry me, Fran.
Marry me.
Make me happy.
Make yourself.
Make yourself happy.
No, I don't know anymore.
It's such a beautiful night. No?
No? What? Look at me. Look at my eyes. What do you see?
Oh,
Same
it's
thing
the
I
same.
do every day. People say, I'm serious. So am I. What are you talking about? What a donut.
She did the same.
Take my donut.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come on, I give up. What's the big deal?
I did it. You watch.
What? I guess he'll marry
Yes,
you,
you'll
huh?
marry him, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait till we get
Wait.
So,
Oh, makes sense that they're still living with their couldn't even afford the ring, so.
Brian, would you have that? What do you think?
What do you think?
What do you think?
Where'd you get that?
Can you ask yourself for God?
Key?
Take it off. Get me a beer.
I'll get it.
Get yourself.
Yourself.
Hey!
Oh.
Crazy. Hey, let me in. Promise you'll be good. Don't swear on no rock.
You know
You know
how
how
to
we
behave!
behave.
And so it begins.
Come on. Look.
It's just that you look so good in those things. They're too sexy.
Only one that looks like you. Yeah, I know.
You look pretty before we were married.
It's not.
Because now you're his possession.
But sister, I love you so much.
Can't stand to think of you dressing up for anybody.
Yup.
you know what this is? This is a letter from a woman who has been beaten by her husband for years. She read about what you did,
about what was happening to you, and she realized that she had to leave her husband.
Wait.
This is you are not alone.
I remember the reason that this movie happened was a woman wrote I believe it was the woman, Francine Hughes. I believe it was her that wrote to Farrah Fawcett telling her about her story. I believe that that's the story behind this movie. That she wanted Farrah to play her. Or Farrah decided that she wanted to play her in the movie. But
When I got to the top of that building, there was this observatory.
So I looked up, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Just a full moon.
Naked as me as the day I was born.
I saw you looking at it. I got up, won't you? What's going on?
you know what's going on.
So I left. Berlin took me to my mom's place in Jackson.
I'm surprised the father actually drove her. Or the father-in-law.
I'm gonna get a job. I was thinking back then, help me with this room. I was thinking maybe they needed somebody down at the donut shop. I'd like to try to finish school. No, this was good with confidence, Mama.
I don't want to
I don't want to go back.
Had to sit.
Had to sell your old business. I want to stay here for a while. Wait,
Put up with your
put up
name,
with your name.
especially if there's children.
There's children.
Mostly the name.
That can over there, will you, honey?
Like
Like a hard bitch.
have to leave.
Have to leave. I just think in the morning.
She's pregnant.
I don't want to talk to him.
It's his baby too. I know he's jealous, but that's only natural.
Oh,
It's your duty.
oh. I can't even, like,
It's not pretty, is it? It ain't so bad.
I can't even be, like, completely mad at the mother, because that was the time. That was the time, and that was the way society was.
When did you do this?
Yesterday.
Where?
Miss, can you change the record? Took Christy out of town with you. You're getting lonely out here.
Oh,
You have to go in town without me.
It's just as much my fault. We're a family now.
We're a family
I
now.
gotta try to be a
I
good
gotta try to
wife.
be a good wife. I gotta figure out what he wants, what he's thinking. This way he'll be in here apologizing.
You're gonna let him?
You're gonna let him?
It's not easy for him
It's not
to.
easy for him to.
this movie, take a shot every time he says that he's sorry. He'll be drunk before halfway through.
I want to tell you I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Take a shot!
I love you.
Love you.
I'd rather you hated me.
Cry. Please.
The problem is you
problem
can't get welfare
Can't get
unless you're
welfare
separate.
unless you're separate from the husband.
Now, all you
All you have to do is sign the property.
I could give you a food
I
order
could give
right
you a
now.
food order right now to have those things.
And all I do is sign.
All I do is sign.
That's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
My husband said he'd kill me if I left.
Courts would protect you.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Then you just pay the fine. Pays the cert.
The fee? How much?
It's $7, Mrs.
$7.
$7. I think I'd be here if I had $7.
$7. I'm happy. Nice fee. Well,
I can't pay you
I
back.
can't pay you back.
You'll want to read.
You want to read this very carefully. 6 months ago,
There
go
are
to
some
court
good
for
people.
power. The divorce paper?
Most of the system is trash, but there are some good people.
Just like that.
Play a game.
Play a game.
I'm proud of you,
I'm
honey.
proud of you, honey.
It's a real good thing
It's
you're
a real
doing.
good thing you're doing.
Oh,
Stop it.
Nice.
Be nice.
Pack so fast,
I don't even know if I got everything. Be
I read something like that it usually takes the woman like 7 times of like trying to leave before she makes the break for good or something more that happens. I love her friend.
Ain't she gonna ask
You
about
don't
me?
ask about me.
No,
Well, it's just fine.
we don't care.
Got his stuff all straightened out. He's working.
Now, when are you two gonna get back together and be a family like you want to?
Never.
Your children need their father.
I did it for the children.
Not that one. I can speak from experience. It's not 9 times out of 10, it's not better to stay together for the kids' sake. It's really not.
Mickey loves you. Something wrong.
Nobody knows me like you do.
Oh, tell me.
Yeah, that's the point. That's why she doesn't want to go back.
It'll be a lot better this time. Promise.
No, it won't.
It's over.
Come and go as much as I want.
No. He's
real bad,
Francine.
When those stops like that,
got hit by a telephone.
Searching from Chicago. Some kind of specialist. You don't want me to know what it is. How bad is he? Real bad. Doctor may not. I'll take it. It's all busted up inside.
Unfortunately, not enough. If he died now, it would have saved us a whole lot of trouble. Think of the gas we'd have saved. Gas is expensive.
Come to bed. Sleep. Rest up in the way.
Still don't know me, Wimpy.
Anything at all?
I'm sorry, his name is Wimpy?
Doc says
I'm assuming that's a nickname.
I sure didn't think much.
You divorced Nick.
Oh, fuck you.
Stay a little while longer.
You know, it drives me nuts when the husband's family always turns against the wife. Because, I'm sorry,
When I took his hand, he started to cry. I did too.
the family,
Thinking how awful it was.
you know that your son, oh yes he does, he deserves that and more. You know that your son and your brother are trash. You know.
Yeah.
And yet you blame her for leaving. Oh, that drives me crazy.
Not bad.
You know what you raised.
What's the matter, Annie? I can't hear you. I decided that I'm going to help make you sit better. I might as well be close to her. Oh, what's that? Mom, it's you.
No.
Hello. Hello. I'm busy. I have to call you back. You didn't see him in the hospital. You're done. Who'd be mad?
I love her.
Terrible thing to say.
No.
Be careful.
No, it's not. It's not terrible.
You know, Francine, sometimes I think that's the only way you gotta get rid of them.
Preach.
Well, who's gonna stop me? My horse. Hey, come on, Graham.
They actually got divorced.
Time I came home. Things are getting out of line here. Hungry.
So he just, like, I would say, like, why not just call the cops and be like, excuse me, there's a man in my house that I don't want to be in the house. Can you take him out of my house?
You're gonna be just fine. I'm fine now. Don't work no more. Nobody's gonna help you now.
Crazy that they're actually divorced at this point. I did not remember that. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay, yeah, because I thought if it was him, he would have like just jerked that door open.
We got him calmed down. Says he's not going to bother you anymore. Sorry, man, but we didn't see him do anything. So we're not allowed to make a list.
And that's why she sets him on fire. They're already divorced. He's not even supposed to be in her house.
Would you like me to take you to the hospital?
That's it, the whole, we didn't see him do anything. You found her in the closet, though, didn't ya? Let the law decide. Let the law handle it. We didn't see him do anything, so we can't do nothing. I'm sorry. That's letting the law handle it. If the law would do their job, we wouldn't have people setting other people on fire.
I'll take the kids with them.
Wherever you went, I'd find you. You know what would happen? You're going to stay right here. Forget self-defense, and we changed the plea to not guilty by reason of temporary insanity.
No. Well,
From the government. I got the grant. They're giving money to go to business school.
You're not someone that's good.
If I get a degree, I could get a job. I could just go in the morning. I'd be home by the time the kids got back. Still take care of the house. If I don't go, we don't get the money.
they're divorced. I can't believe they're divorced. And he's still her nightmare.
Henry here protects our school, don't you, Henry? Francine is.
Oh, take her away, Henry. Take her away.
Nicky started complaining more and more about me going to school. I was afraid he was going to try to make me stop. He got drunk one night and started in on me and my kids. So I packed the kids in the car.
You looking for this?
Every time I try to run away, he catch me. He thinks it's big worse.
I'm surprised the cops even showed up. That father pisses me off almost as much as the mother. Because sometimes he seems like he understands his son is trash. And he's like, he helped her get a degree the first time. And other times he's like, oh, my son. Like, what the? Since the crash.
It's for Mickey, too. He sent someplace to get some help.
He's going to go mad.
Oh, this whole family is trash. Oh my God. This whole family is fucking trash.
We need help.
Oh God. Surprised the mother took her in. Like, oh, he's a man. That's the way men are. You just make your bed and lie in it.
I just want my kid. He's here right now. Why don't you just leave this, Emil? The police are on their way. Get away from here! No! Just for me. You are letting me have the kids. Get it out of here! I'll take you down!
Oh, I can't protect my daughter from this crazy man. I can't. Let's just give the monster what he wants so I can get some sleep. Her mother. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? If that was my daughter, I would be grabbing a knife in the kitchen and be like, I dare you, motherfucker. I dare you to try to come into this house. This I can blame her for. This shit I can blame her for. Yes, you did.
Quit drinking. I'm going to church.
Oh, what a good Christian boy. You know,
It'll never happen again.
he's a good Christian boy, just like a Republican.
I made up my mind.
The Republican kind of Christian.
Kids miss something on. Children need a mother or a both. As soon as I get a job and I get settled, I'm going to come get the kids. Man, I love those kids. I'll never give them up. Give them up? I'm the mother. If I have to, Nicky, I'll get a lawyer. I love you. I want you with me and the kids. I'll never take another drink. I do.
Now, you indicated that Mickey Hughes made repeated threats to kill Francine. He said specifically, as I recall, you're testifying that it was all over for her. My question is this, officer. Why didn't you take him away?
Because he made the same threats to me, and they didn't seem like they're just words.
I see. On what did you base this conclusion?
That he had an opportunity while he was threatening me to back it up, but he didn't.
Do you put yourself in the same position, sir, with your uniform and gun? I assume you were wearing a gun.
Yes, right, I had a gun.
Are you equating your situation with Francine's? Wasn't it quite obvious to you that he wasn't going to be doing anything while you were still there?
Thank you.
No.
Did you see the person known to you as
I know him too.
in the courtroom here today?
Oh.
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you? He was married to one of your sons? Which son was that?
Oh, I remember this.
My son. We called
Cody Mickey. Remember this? Oh my God, we made fun of her so many times. My son Jane. We called him Mickey.
occasion, Mrs. Hughes, when you saw your son strike Francine Hughes?
Never have I ever seen any of my sons strike one of their wives.
You lying bitch!
Recall the children ever telling you about their father beating up on their mother?
Well, the children came over a couple of times and they would say, my mom and daddy's back.
I see. They wouldn't say my daddy is beating up on my mom.
I suppose they have said that.
On August 12th of 1972, at approximately 14 minutes after 7 o'clock, do you recall the situation where the police came to your house because your son had repeatedly hit you in the face?
I most certainly do not.
Jesus.
I don't know where you're getting your information from.
Okay.
I most certainly do not.
Mrs. Hughes, do you recall when you called the Ingham County Sheriff's Department and on that occasion Francine Hughes hid in your house?
Hid in my house? Well, she had hid in our house sometimes. She done that even before they got married. I didn't know whether they was fighting or playing games or what.
And who was she hiding from, her children?
Well, I don't know. Maybe she was hiding from him. Afterwards, she'd say, Mom, it's more my fault than it is his.
Miss Hughes, don't you remember the police coming to your house when Francine was hiding?
I've seen her, the actress, in other things. But because of this
I do not
movie,
recall no such occasion.
I've always hated her. I don't care if she's played good people.
No, sir.
You
In
recall
other
him
movies.
breaking down the door to
I've always
try to get
hated
into your house to get after her?
He didn't break down no door. He did not. Better ask something else, because he didn't break down my doors. You sure got you some good information, you. You better go back and get you some more.
Yeah.
Now, Christy, what was he saying to your mother during this evening?
It doesn't matter what character the actress plays. I hate her. I hate the character.
He called her out for her.
Tell me. I'm sorry to have to say this, Christy, but tell us what he said to her.
Called her a bitch and a whore.
Did your mom seem depressed or happy or normal or what?
Depressed.
Now, Christy, is this the first time that you remember that your father beat up on your mother?
No.
Was it the second time?
No.
Was it the third time?
No.
How about the fourth or fifth time?
No.
How many times did your father beat up on your mother?
Too many to count.
You remember your father grabbing
Good
your mother
girl.
by the arms, bending them up behind her back. You remember showing the policeman that?
Yes.
Christy, you remember telling them that your dad hit her in the face and hit her in the head?
Yes.
Like this?
I don't know. Usually with the back of his hand or his fist or the front of his hand.
Just any old way, right?
Right.
He said that if she left with you, you would kill her. How many times did he tell her that?
And you did nothing to protect her.
Two.
Ugh, I love that little girl.
Christy,
She would.
how do you feel about your father being gone? You miss your father?
Ugh. I love that little girl.
Glad that he's gone. Objection! Sustain. That's all I have, Your Honor. Defense calls Francine Hughes.
Because the kid could be like, oh, I love my daddy. I love my daddy no matter what.
Feeling the way I did about
But
it.
no, she was like,
Such a young
no,
woman,
he did this shit to my mom.
not being able to work.
I'm gonna stand up for my mom.
What more could I take away from him?
What's for dinner? There's no meat in here.
I got some chicken dinner.
You know I don't like dinner.
We're going to eat here anyway.
It's for
You're not supposed to be in my house. We're divorced. Ugh. Well, then plug your nose. Then you must feel something.
Come on, go outside. Go on. Go on. I'm not gonna go there anymore.
Can't control an educated woman.
Fix you so you'll never go back.
Go ahead. Stop. God. Oh, I hate him so much. You're punching in the balls. You're like right there. That poor baby boy. Poor all of them, of course. But you always know that it's like the little boy. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. It's the little boy who ends up seeing that. There's a bigger chance that it could go either way. Either he takes the logic of, I'm never going to do that to my wife, or that's how you're supposed to treat your wife.
School.
Damn, get right. Damn right.
Hey, Francine, let's go through this again. The way to tell Becky fell asleep. Is that right? Right? You took the kids out to the car, right? You got the gasoline out of the garage and you came back into the house, right? You poured the gasoline around the bed and then you lit a match and ran to the car, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay, the kids were in the car and they were scared and crying and you started driving away. Francine, what were you doing? Where were you going?
For my life. Ran for the life of my kids.
Francine, did you premeditate and plan the death of your husband, Nicky Hughes?
Does the jury reach the verdict?
Yes, ma'am. We find the defendant not guilty by reason of temporary insanity.
Damn right.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn fucking right.
And I thank every one of you for
Yeah, so that movie just infuriates me because it's a bit better now in terms of responses to domestic violence and that kind of stuff, but not by much. And the whole like it usually takes up to 7 times of leaving before they make the clean break for good or somebody dies. And I can hear and I can understand the argument of some people who say, well, especially now, a lot of people who say, oh, well, the police will like come and then like the woman won't press charges or won't want to press charges. Or we'll try and get involved and then the woman like gets mad at us for poking our nose in our business, their business. Those are legitimate, what's the word? Things that happen. That's true. But I think the answer to that is not to do nothing. It's to sort of be there as someone that the wife or the woman or the man, because let's not forget there are cases of domestic violence against men. Let's not be disingenuous and not agree that it's mostly women. 90% is women. So as a woman, I'm going to speak on sort of like through my lens. The idea of, oh, you know, like I told her to leave him and she won't listen to me, so like it's like, well, no, it's, you have to stay there in her life so that she knows when she feels that she can leave, when she feels that it's safe for her to leave, that she has you. Because what he wants is for you as a friend to give up. What he wants for you as a police officer is to be, oh, it's that house again. We're just going to go and she's not going to want to do anything, so we're just going to be wasting our time. Like, no. You go and you try to help her every time. You stay in her life. Like, that friend, Gabby, I loved her. I loved her so much. And I'm so glad that she was there the whole time. Granted, in the end, he had destroyed Francine so much that she felt she had no choice but to set the motherfucker on fire. But that was Francine's choice. that was on her. That was not Gabby's fault. You know, Gabby was there. Her mother, in the beginning, when in the early days of sort of the abuse, I could understand the mother being sort of like, oh, you know, that's just the way men are, and like, he doesn't mean anything by it, and like, you made your bed, now you have to lie in it. That sort of view in the 60s was very, and even into the 70s, was very sort of common. But the further on it got, where the mother could see just how bad the abuse was getting, and she was still like, oh, I can't handle this. I can't handle the yelling and the him trying to break the door down. No. My poor old sensibilities, it's too delicate for this. I can't handle this. You have to do what he says because it's bothering me. It's bothering me. Him banging on the doors and yelling. It's bothering me, Francine. Let him have the kids. Let him have the kids so I can have some peace and quiet. Basically. Let this abuser have my grandchildren. Let's give my grandchildren to this monster so I can have some peace and quiet in my house. And that was why I say her mother was as big a piece of trash as his family. His family. I'm sorry. You know who you raised. You know exactly who you raised. And I have a situation in my family where there is somebody who is of a similar character type. And his parents are constantly trying to sweep under the rug the kind of piece of shit that he is. And they're all about the appearance of trying to maintain that my son is a good boy. My son James. We called him Mickey. It's all about the appearance of being a good family with no sort of scandals. And, it's not just rich people. It's not just rich people. White trash does it too. And this family, in my personal acquaintance, are the same way. They know their son is a piece of shit. But yet, they will say to anybody, I never saw my son do that. My son's not like that. My son would never. When they know full well that their son is trash. So, to me, his family is, her mother was just as bad as his family. And I said it in the reaction. The actress who plays Mickey's mother, I've seen her in other things. And every time I see her, I want to punch her. I hate her. And it's because of this movie. She could be playing the nicest woman in, well, she wasn't a nice woman in that movie, but Armageddon? Do you guys remember the movie Armageddon with Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck? When the dude with the telescope who first discovers the meteorite, and he wants to name it after his wife, who is a soul-sucking abyss from which there's no escape. His wife? Dottie. Is Mickey's mom. Is the same actress who plays Mickey's mom in this movie. Farrah Fawcett, oh my god. What a fantastic, fantastic actress. And I've seen her in other things. In fact, I also have a mini-series of hers. I think it's it's like 2 parts. Not necessarily a mini-series, but kind of. Called Small Sacrifices. Where I know she plays the complete opposite of this. She plays a woman who kills or attempts to kill her children. I I know that I've seen that one as well, but I remember even less about that one than I do The Burning Bed. So I'm eventually I will also be reacting to that. That one will be even more of a refresher for me because I remember pretty much nothing except the fact that she shoots her children. That's all I remember. This one, like, stuff that sort of was coming back to me, like, as I was watching. And she also did the movie Extremities, which I know that she's either attacked or she's raped, and then she takes revenge on the rapist or the attacker. And so yeah, I don't remember. Like, this one was the one of the movies of hers that I've seen that was sort of fresher in my mind, just because this one was the one that was sort of the one with that had like the biggest sort of impact on me. And let's not forget, for as big as a piece of shit as he was, the actor who played Mickey was so good. He was so good. He was so good. He was such an effective piece of shit. I know he's been in other things too, but I can't remember them right now. Paul Lamont. I know he's been in other things as well. But yeah, they were both fantastic actors in this. And yeah, I remember hearing the story of Farrah Fawcett got a letter, a fan letter, that kicked off this whole movie. That was the reason this movie happened. Yeah, so it was sort of a little like meta moment when the lawyer gave her the letter and said, "This is a woman who, like you, was abused, and you know, the story was similar to yours, and I think it was that she gave her the courage to leave her husband or something." So that was sort of a little nod to how this movie came about to be. I did not know that it was a book as well. I definitely want to read that. Yeah, so fantastic movie. Very sort of heavy subject matter, you know, hard to watch, especially if you've lived through a similar sort of situation where I did. Nobody set anybody on fire. But yeah. I would have liked to, or maybe if I read the book, I'll find this out, but I would have liked some sort of little epilogue sort of thing where, like, we find out, you know, like, what happened to Francine? What happened to the kids? That little boy. I know I've seen him in other things as well. I think his name is David. I think it showed him at the end, and I think I recognized his name was, like, David Friedman. Because it could go either way with young boys who grow up in abusive households. They could either go right or they could completely go left, where they become excuse me, they become good men who, oh, okay, we're doing this now. I swear, like, I talk a lot and then, like, my voice just goes, because I don't talk a lot. But yeah, He could either go the right way and be like, I'm not gonna ever do that to my wife or my girlfriend, or he can go completely left and be like, this is what I saw, this is what I know, this is how I'm going to deal with my emotions, is to take them out on a woman. Which I don't think you can use the same argument with Mickey. I was trying to see if there was any sort of if there was any sort of hint to, is that why Mickey is the way he is? Is it because, his father was abusive to his mother? But I most definitely did not get that vibe from Mickey's parents. Like, his mother did not seem like a victim of abuse at all. And his dad, for the biggest piece of shit as he was, the mother seemed to hold more sway sort of in that household than he did. And it's sort of the same in the personal situation that I'm acquainted with, where the parents pretend that their son, that they have to protect their family reputation. Yeah, she's the one who sort of runs that house, and I got that same sort of vibe with Mickey and his parents. So yeah, I don't think we can use that same excuse with Mickey. Yeah, he was just a chauvinistic, misogynistic piece of shit. And Francine, like, she saw it from, like, pretty much the beginning of their relationship. She was catching a vibe, a red flag, as it were. But she let herself be talked out of it. She let herself be charmed out of it. And I can't even really blame Gabby for, like, convincing her to, like, oh, give him another chance, he really loves you, blah, blah, blah. Because, he wasn't an abusive asshat from day one. No. He sucked her in. What's the word now? Love bombed? He love bombed her. Oh, I love you so much. I've never loved anyone the way that I love you, and all that. So, and this is still a thing now, and it's something that I harp on. A lot of women stay, and a lot of women go back, because society tells them that you're somehow less than if you don't have a boyfriend or you don't have a husband. So a lot of them do go back or accept the bad parts of a relationship because it's better than not being in a relationship at all. That attitude is getting better, but it's still a thing. It still exists. Because a lot of girls do grow up with the belief that it might be a bad relationship, but at least I'm in a relationship. At least I'm not alone. And just how she was over at every turn. She got help from almost nowhere. I mean, that one guy, the black guy with the glasses, he, I think, was the only help she got in this whole movie. This poor man tried to do what he could for this woman. And I'm not talking about the lawyer, obviously. The lawyer was, he helped her by doing his job and defending her. But yeah, she got basically no help from anywhere, to the point where she felt she had no choice. It was kill or be killed. If I don't kill him, he's going to kill me. And again, I don't even think that that was her thought process. Oh, Jesus. It was a bit of snow that just fell, like a chunk of snow or something fell. She had clearly snapped. But to the point where it did become this primal thing. Kill or be killed. If I don't kill him, he's going to kill me. So the only way that I can get away from him, because they were divorced. They were divorced. And he was still living in her house. How does that not equate with the police coming and taking this man, who is not her husband, out of her house? This man is not supposed to be here. Why aren't you taking him away? Why are you doing nothing? And then the mother fucks her over and is basically like, lets him take the kids away so that she has no choice but to go back to him if she wants her kids back. But yeah, she had like no help from the law. So, well, if you're not going to help me, I'm going to help myself. I'm going to do what I have to protect myself. Because you, the law, are not doing your job. And yes, there will be people who will be like, oh, you never take the law into your own hands. That's vigilante justice. That you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't, an eye for an eye kind of bullshit. And, let the law handle it. What if we all took the law into our own hands and blah, blah, blah. Bitch, I would have handed her the match. I would have handed her the fucking match. That's going to be it for this week's video. So, fantastic movie. It was so bizarre and fun to revisit this movie. Again, the full unedited version to this will be up on Patreon. The YouTube version will be here on YouTube and will be obviously considerably edited down. Hopefully YouTube lets me put this up, because it came out in '84. I don't think it's Warner Brothers, which is notoriously stupid about copyright. So hopefully I'll be able to put this up on YouTube. But, yeah, that's going to be it for this week's video. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/authorejamie. Like my Facebook page, facebook.com/authorejamie, and I will talk to you guys next time. We don't need no water, let the motherfucker burn!